Going up and down the river.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, everybody. Hey, I'm here. I'm honored to have a discussion with President and CEO of Hendricks Commercial Properties, Rob Gerbitz. Hi, Rob.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, this is our chamber check-in, and this is a great opportunity to learn a little bit about Hendricks Commercial Properties and the investments here in our region. But first, why don't you tell us how you're doing? How's your team doing?
We're doing good. It's like it is for all of you. It's been an up and down 60 plus days roughly, but as a company, as our team, we're doing good. Knock on wood, we've had no cases or anything amongst anybody. 750 employees, we haven't had anything. I'm very happy to report that. I think the biggest challenges we have is probably like all of you have is that, just being able to do our jobs in a very, very different way. And we're doing good, though. I'm very, very pleased, and I certainly hope you guys are all doing well, too.
Absolutely. So for those that don't know what Hendricks Commercial Properties is or what they do or where they're located, why don't you give us a little brief rundown of your business?
Sure. Well, Hendricks Commercial Properties was started in 1974 in Beloit, Wisconsin, which I'm sure anybody who's watching has been here many a times for
Beloit Snappers.
Yeah, Beloit Snappers for spring break or whatever. It's Diane Hendricks started it. Her and her husband Ken, back in '74, she was looking to start a business. Ken was in the roofing business, and he was doing more like industrial type roofing projects in the state and in the Midwest. And then she started it effectively with 2 homes in the Beloit College neighborhood. Beloit College is actually a liberal arts college. It's actually older than the city of Beloit, believe it or not. And she basically became a landlord for student housing. The interesting thing is Diane's one of 9 daughters in a farm family. And I always ask her, I said, boy, your dad must have just been begging for a boy, just begging for a boy. But he didn't get one. And she and her first husband and their son moved here back in '68, I think she told me. And eventually they got divorced, and then she ended up meeting Ken, and they kind of started to grow their families together. And she's. I always tell people, don't ever think about Diane what you would see in a Forbes magazine or any of that kind of stuff. That doesn't represent her at all. She is about the most down-to-earth person you can get. And she's just fun. She's an extremely fun lady. And she is a extraordinarily smart businesswoman. And very to the point. What I've appreciated about my 11 years is that she always tells me exactly how she feels, and I do the same for her, and it really works great. And so now, Hendricks, flash forward to today, anyways. We have about 10 million square feet of mixed-use commercial apartments, industrial projects and properties in about 25 states now. So. Wow. So we're spread out pretty good, but we have our concentrations. And obviously Beloit is Diane's hometown. It's her first passion. It is her love. And the night she hired me, she kind of walked away from the table, and then she came walking back, and she just said, "Remember, number one thing is you build Beloit." And I said, "Okay." And so I really appreciated that, and I've just loved working here. It's just been spectacular in this city. And then we have Indianapolis, which we've been investing in for 5, 6, 7 years, and in other areas as well, but more one-off real estate investments. And then Boise is really right now is our third largest concentration of real estate now in our portfolio. So
really,
and growing.
Okay, I love that. And why don't you tell the audience and me a little bit more about the investments here in Boise? What are the
Sure.
properties that you're managing and developing currently?
Well, I mean, the first thing that brought us here, well, honestly, the first building that we came to look at, which I did not look at, was I think it was the Edelman building over there, and I can't remember why, but we did not buy that, and we just didn't. And then, and I would say maybe a year after that, a broker that I knew, he sent me an offering memorandum for the Bodo properties, and my initial reaction was, I'm like, no, and I don't, yeah, because if you look at Bodo, as you guys know, is much more of it's kind of a suburban product in downtown, and we're really not a suburban kind of product company. We're a little bit more urban, mixed use. We do like old buildings, and so I kind of just kept saying no, and he just kind of kept on me, and he said, Rob, this is, you got to look at this. And then finally I said, okay. And I kind of did what I always do whenever I go to a city that I've never been to before. I just, I kind of get on my feet. I'll go running or I'll just walk, and I just walk everywhere in every angle I can to kind of see if I can get a feel and everything else. And it didn't take me long in Boise to walk around and be like, okay, I'm getting this, and while I didn't particularly care for the Bodo product that was there, it was really well built. The guy who developed it did a really good job, building it. But then I could kind of start to see and envision what I thought we could do with it and change it and stuff like that. So, so we've kind of, been in that process for the better part of almost 3 years now, in trying to get to that next phase, which we are actually in with the city now for permit and approvals and everything else. So it's going to be a pretty dramatic change from what you see today. We're focusing into a food hall, and with about, I think we're at 16 different vendors right now, and the response, and honestly, from people with the chamber and the city itself has been so good. I mean, the interest has been great, and and now we're doing food halls is relatively a new process in real estate. There's certainly been the one in LA, there's been Chelsea Market and whatnot in New York and that for many years, but it really has only started to ramp up on the development side over the last 3 to 5 years. So the rule book's really not written. And we know it full well from our project in Indianapolis. It's an exercise in how to figure out how to not lose any more money. Because
right.
it's so complicated, and there's so many different vendors that you're dealing with. But the fortunate thing for here in Boise is that we've learned a lot of those mistakes that we've made, and now it's so much smoother than the last one. So we want to make Bodo a destination, a true destination for people. And with the food hall in itself, we want to have anywhere between 1.2 and 1.5 million or more visits a year. And if we've done our job well and the vendors are really working well, we'll get that. And I think it's a good goal to have. And I'm really proud of where we've gotten with that. So, yeah, but that's what got us there. It was Bodo.
Bodo. Okay. Where can people go see renderings of your ideas for this food hall, or can we
Boise
see it?
Dev, I think, has it.
Okay.
I just talked to Don Day the other day, and I think our architects have sent everything over to him, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they have that, or they can just we didn't put anything on our website yet. We generally hold until we get approvals, because
right.
I think it's bad luck if we put it up beforehand.
That's
so
right.
Kind of stay away from that. But yeah, we're going to start putting a lot more out. Hopefully in the next few weeks here, as the city's they've been great to work with.
Good.
They really have, and and Mayor McLean has been really good. I got to meet with her, I think, first or second week in January, like right after she started, and so that's been really nice. And the overall planning departments and everything has been really, really good. So that's not normal, by the way.
Okay, good to hear.
You guys should be real proud of that. I got one city which I'll not name, and it's definitely not Beloit, and it's definitely not Indianapolis, that it is just an absolute bloodbath to do anything there. So it's nice to see. It's nice to collaborate, and hear. Yeah, I don't mind if people say, well, I'd like to see something a little bit different here and there. I can make my point, certainly, but it's nice to have the collaboration.
So Bodo brought you here. What other properties have you guys invested in here?
We bought the Jefferson building. We bought that, I'm going to say it's almost 2 years ago now. That was just a building, just love it. I mean, I just love the look of it. It is kind of what we generally like in our portfolio. If you look at certainly our Beloit, our Indianapolis, a couple of our other locations, we like those old, mixed use office and some retail components on there. And it's worked out really, really nice for us on that. We bought the Oahe building probably about a year ago now, I would say, just about. And then the parking lot, certainly next to it, and then the parking lot where the Tree Fort main stage is, we bought that as well. So we're in the, we haven't done much on that, but on the parking lot directly next to the Oahe, we've been in early planning stages for a hotel, a boutique hotel that we would own and build.
Okay.
And well, right now we don't, but prior to March 15th, we really love the boutique hotel business. It's
oh my gosh,
it's been really, really good to us, and and it's been an industry that we really like because it allows us to kind of, in many cases, it allows us to dig in the history, which is something we do like to do, and kind of when we're developing our concepts and our brands, that's kind of where we go. We go into, okay, what was on the site, what was in the downtown, what were the hoteliers maybe, who were the founders. We just dig in, and you guys in Boise get just, I mean, you're easy to do research on because you can just Google Boise history and there's just tons of it, and and you also have lots of people that help us find even more stuff. So we haven't gotten 100% there yet, but we're getting closer and closer. Design wise on the hotel, we've gotten a lot done. We haven't submitted anything for the city or anything yet, but and to get those approvals started, and we're probably a little ways off with that yet, but it's really coming together nicely. And I love the Oahe building. I just, it's almost one of those places where you can hear people talking to you in the hallways. It's just, and I know people said that was haunted at one time or something like that, but it seems like every one of our old buildings has some sort of a haunted story at some point in time. But it's just a neat place, and Local Construct did all the work on that, and they did a really nice job with that too. So so we're proud to own it, and hopefully be good stewards of it for a long time. So.
That's great. There is a storied history on some of these businesses or these buildings that you're investing in. We're excited to hear about your future plans in Idaho. Anything additionally on the horizon?
Well, we just closed on, well, not just, but we closed on the Hoff building. We did complete that a few months ago. We're going to do, we're just starting kind of getting our minds around it. It's a, I mean, as you guys know better than I do, I mean, it's a great old iconic building. And there's lots of stories and history there too. And we like the use that's there though. We think the common areas need some upgrades, and then certainly a lot of the offices and ones that are vacant, we want to upgrade those and get those a little bit more, I would say, more out of the 1990s, style, and into a little bit more today. So we're going to do that work, and then exterior needs some. We got a good responsibility to put a little love into that. The windows are needing replacing, and a lot of that stuff. But
wow,
that's the kind of stuff we like in the buildings, though. To be able to kind of just bring them back to life in a little bit of way. Not that the Hoff is not in life. I mean, there's lots of people in there, lots of great tenants. So we're pretty excited about that too.
Cool. Well, hey, we're excited to when you come back into town next and put your boots on the ground and walk around. Let me know when you're back in town. Let's go have a bite to eat, as well as let's get a run on the Greenbelt. But hey, I want to thank you for your membership.
Yep.
Thank you for your investment in our community. And I look forward to our next conversation, Rob.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yep. Have a great rest of your week.
You too.